Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and I'm going to do a thorough inspection today on hive number 2. That's my little hive here, which I requeened about 10 days ago. I released the queen about 5 days after that, so she's been in there for about 5 days. And when I left her, she was laying, so this inspection is to confirm that she is still laying. I'm going to look for eggs, and her larva should be in the first few stages of being identifiable there. So I also put in a brood frame in there, so that brood frame should be, hopefully the workers have finished capping that off, and that should be hatching soon. So the goal is to make sure that she is laying and laying well. Oh, are they starting to throw drones out there? Is that what I see? Let's see if we can zoom in there. A little drone battle. Yeah, they threw a drone out there just a second ago. So that's bound to start happening now, soon. And so, okay, back to the point. We're gonna make sure that queen is laying there, and if she is, then I'll start feeding the hive. I need to make sure she has enough room to lay as well, and then I'll start feeding that hive. I've already started to feed hive number 3 here. I haven't fed hive number 1 because it's still making honey in those 2 supers up top that I want to take for me. So another couple of weeks. The weather is supposed to be like this. It's gorgeous. It's 20 degrees, which is about 70 Fahrenheit, and that's what we're more or less supposed to get for the next 2 weeks. So it's actually really good late season foraging weather. You can see this goldenrod. It is amazing. I'm gonna have a good look. Like, all the pollen they're bringing is really, you know, dark yellow, almost orange color, right? And that darkens up the honey too. So that's what we're gonna check and see. We're gonna make sure that that queen is doing all right. She is right laying, and then we'll feed her, and we'll check the other hives as well just while I'm here. I'll put those in separate videos. Thanks. Okay, so again, on this inspection, what I'm looking for is I'm going to look at every single frame in this box, because I want to make sure that there's still enough room for her to lay, and that she is laying, and to make a determination basically on whether I should start feeding her or not. I'm going to smoke this hive. The hive has been fantastically calm, as you can see. Even though the hive was queenless for a couple of months, even through those queenless weeks, there was only one day when they came after me. They stung me 8 times one day through the suit in the back, because it was an overcast day and they hadn't been foraging that day. So they weren't extremely happy. So I had it coming. And we're looking for the queen at every step of the way here. Now this queen is marked with yellow on her back, so hopefully it'll be easy for me to spot, because I'm not the best at spotting the queen. So outside here we're expecting to see honey stores. And there's one brood frame in the top box here that I put in from another hive. So what I'm hoping to see there is that they have tended to that frame and capped it off. It was maybe only about 30% capped. Now this is brood comb that was left over from the previous drone laying worker bee. So I'm hoping they will take care of that, get rid of it, and continue filling this frame with honey. Same story on the outside, as you can see. Still plenty of drones around, so they'll start getting rid of them soon. I saw one unceremoniously evicted here just when I cracked open the hive, or before I cracked open the hive. Alright, so that'll be the only frame I leave out of the box. Trying to keep in mind that the queen could be anywhere, and not wanting to roll her. So another frame that's left over from the previous drone laying workers. And you can see this would be a great frame for the queen to lay in. You can see some larvae there in the middle. You can see larvae right here. And that's all old larvae. So that'll be drone. And again, it'd be nice if they took those out, because there's really no need for any more drone this late in the season. There's still plenty of room for her to lay there. Here you see one just being born right there. You see that? Look at that little bee just trying to work its way out. Kind of neat, huh? Okay, let's keep it moving. I won't want this video to be too long. I'll probably keep the video rolling until I get to the brood frame that I stole from the other hive, because I want to see how that one's going. See, they're all looking pretty much the same, so no eggs in this at all. Just the old stuff left over from the old queen. I mean, it's a good laying pattern. Well, it's a good pattern as far as having the honey across the top and down the sides like that. So if the new queen chooses to lay in there, it's ready for her. And there's just a little bit of nectar in here, not much actually at all, so she should be able to lay in there no problem. Just some larvae left over there from the previous queen. That was 10 days ago, so they should be either capping that off or just maybe larvae that's dead that didn't make it, that they haven't removed yet. Now, I'm looking closely at this particular bee. See that bee? It doesn't look healthy. Its color is not nice. It doesn't seem to be moving all that well. You see it there? Well, look at its wings, look okay, and I don't see any mites on it. It just doesn't have the healthy look of all the other bees. It does seem to be doing its work all right, though. And still lots of drones. And lots of room for this queen to lay. So I think what this tells me is that I can start feeding them, because there is a lot of room for them to put away nectar. And the thing is, because it's September 10th, they've only got the better part of, I'd say, a month or so to convert that nectar into honey. Now here's a frame that's just full of honey and nectar. So hopefully they'll be closed. And there's the queen. Look at her. There she is right there in the middle. So odd for the queen to be on this frame. Looks like she's a little camera shy. She's moving away from the camera. You see her at the bottom? Moving up towards my right hand now. Not halfway up. She's marked in yellow. Easy to spot. And so let's just keep an eye on her and see what she's doing. Again, whoa, let's not be squishing you. So she moved back into the hive there. So she'll be on the next frame I'm looking at. And the bees are getting nasty already. There's a bee on my hood there trying to sting me. So again, we're going to be really careful opening this frame up, because she should be on one of these two frames now. And again, odd to see her on that frame, because there's no egg activity at all on that frame. It was all just honey and nectar. Okay, this is the frame that I pulled out of the next hive, and it looks fantastic. You can see how they finished capping off all the rest of the brood. Let's see if there are any eggs in there. I can see some young larvae. Yes, very young larvae. And I do see eggs as well. So that's a very good sign. That's a sign that this queen has been laying on this frame, which is what we want to see. I don't see the queen though. Do you see the queen anywhere? I know you're kind of partially in shade there. It's mid-afternoon, and I thought this angle would be the best for you to be able to see. So again, looking at this side as well, again, I am seeing very young larvae. Let's look for eggs now. Let's see any eggs on this side. Yeah, okay, there's some eggs now. You see it on the very exterior. It looks like she's doing a really nice circular pattern here, working out from the inside. If you look at the very outside ring here, you see larvae shrinking in size, and then you see eggs on the very next one over. I'll try and bring you up for an extreme close-up, see if it works for you. Okay, so I'm going to take one more look for the queen and make sure she's not on here. Then I'm going to look in the box and make sure she's not on the side so I don't squish her. And then I'll get this frame back in there. Man, it's moments like this that I wish I had better vision. And it's moments like this that I wish that I could spot that queen more easily. I don't see her anywhere, so I will get this frame back in. There's no bees on the side of the box, or very few bees on the side of the box. Okay, so again, she might be on this frame now, so I'll just go really slow. So that the queen is up here, I mean, in 5 days, it could be that she has already filled up the available space in that bottom brood box. But I don't know, it could be also that she's just wanting to lay where there are already existing eggs and larvae, which I brought in from the other hive. So that kind of makes me want to believe that I should go ahead and put another frame of eggs and larvae in the lower brood box here. But I'll determine that when I go see the lower brood box. Now here you see the beginning of a couple of supersedure cells, right? You see that one? And these ones here? I'm going to destroy those because, again, that could have happened as a result of the bees not knowing that there was a new queen or not accepting the new queen or something like that. There's nothing in them anyway. There's not even an egg in them, so that's a good sign. Again, looking for the queen here to make sure I don't squish her when I put this back. I don't see her, so she's done her disappearing trick. She obviously doesn't like to be on camera. So that's it. I'm going to pause this video for now, and then I'm going to have you rejoin me when I get into the lower brood box to see if she's laying in there. Okay, so now I've gone through the entire second brood chamber, and I haven't seen any evidence whatsoever of a laying queen here. Now here is the frame that we installed her on. We installed her right here in the top left corner, and she had filled that top left corner with thousands of eggs. And none of those have come to fruition. There's a bit of pollen in there, which is good. They're building it out, which is good. You know what? There is some larvae in there, but just a bit. Have a look here. Right in this area, right up here, you will see some larvae. I'll take a closer look for eggs, but it would have been nice. What I kind of expected was that she would just continue laying in this entire frame. Oh, there is a lot of little larvae in here, but where she seemed to have preferred to lay is up in that second brood chamber box, because that's where I put in that layer of brood from the other hive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a frame out of this hive in the bottom brood box. I'm going to take a brood frame from this hive over here and put that in the bottom as well, so that if that's what's sort of causing her to lay, she'll have places to lay in the top and bottom. The other thing that I notice that concerns me a little bit in this hive is there's not much pollen at all. Considering there's so much, we're in such a massive nectar flow here with pollen from goldenrod, I'm surprised there isn't as much pollen as I would like to see in here. I would expect to see frames completely covered in this dark yellow, almost orange pollen, but it's not happening. So this is where I'm going to place the new frame of brood. Right in this spot here. Make sure the hive is still in a good position. It is. And I'll put this fairly empty frame back in the other hive. All right. Okay, so here's a very nice frame of honey and brood from my other hive. I will shake the bees off this. I'll look for the queen and then shake the bees off this and put it in the struggling hive. Just going to look to see if there are eggs here as well. Yeah, there's very small larvae and eggs here. So let's shake them off and get this party started. Not a great job with the shake, so I am going to brush some of them off as well. What I found even with this soft brush is that if bees are half immersed in their cells, you still end up cutting a bunch of them in half, so you have to be really gentle. Okay, that's going to have to suffice. Some bees are going into the new hive, which is never fun for them, I guess, but in she goes. That will hopefully strengthen this hive, or if nothing else, it'll be a lot more bees in this hive, and hopefully the queen will head down and start laying in these brood boxes, in the lower brood box as well. So that's it. Thanks for joining me on 4D Honeybee. I'll give you an update as to how this hive does. There is a lot of room in this hive, so I think I will start feeding it, because they are low on honey and they are low on pollen as well. So I'll probably grab a pollen pack and throw it in there as well, because it's going to take them a while to evaporate that sugar water that I feed them and make it into honey for them to be able to eat. So hopefully the weather stays fair, the queen keeps laying, and there's enough bees in this hive for it to survive the winter. Thanks for joining me.